Yellow, yellow.
Hey there.
Hey there. Hey, Britt. Welcome to Turned Up Tuesday.
More people, more
More
problems.
people, more
Woo,
fun.
woo.
I'm just saying, look at them glasses you're wearing. You're
I
looking sexy.
know. Is it sexy or is it
I
educated?
don't know.
You know?
It feels like a little bit of both for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, coming in hot with
Coming.
my eyesight actually changed. So I was forced to new glasses. And then when I was trying on, I was like, I'm gonna go a little crazy,
They're
Like I'm not gonna do my
cute.
standard.
I like them a lot.
Well,
And look
thanks.
at your
Thanks.
hair. It's all flipping wavy and swept back. Oh, look at her chugging. She's a good time, that one.
This is Friday at 4 p.m. So and it's like 6 p.m. for you.
Well, anyways, I'm loving the whole look. It looks great. You're looking
Thank you.
fresh.
Fresh, fresh, fresh.
Fresh.
Okay, what are we chatting about today on this turned up
So I figured we'd just do a
Tuesday?
little turned up Tuesday. Well, the benefit for everyone, this is a turned up Tuesday airing on a Tuesday. However, it's actually a
It's Friday.
Friday here. And so we're all turned up a little bit and we're enjoying ourselves. Britt's got a nice crisp Sauv Blanc as she's,
Always
sipping
do.
it. And
As you
then
say that, I'm gonna refill mine.
I know, refill it. And then I have like a little rosé. I don't even have the bottle over here. It's somewhere there, but maybe I'll show y'all later. But because I'm enjoying it and I found it in Brittany's pool lounge. So,
As
yum.
you always do. It's becoming a problem.
Yeah. Listen, listen. We didn't have time and we were rushing. We didn't want to be late for you, Britt. So we were just
Oh,
making the
yeah.
best
Sure.
decision for everyone at this point.
Well, there you go. There you
There we
go.
go. So we do have a little turned up Tuesday in the midst here. I figured we'd dig in the midst.
Chelsea is the queen of Turned Up Tuesday. Whenever we talk about what we're gonna record and we're talking about content, I'll come in with like, "Oh, like I've been thinking or working with some of my clients on this topic. Like, let's dig in." And she's like, "Oh, that sounds
Very
great." And
technical.
then she'll be like, "I think we should do a Turned Up Tuesday on this." And I was like, "This is the epitome of our like personalities and relationship." I'm like more well, depends on what, but in some ways more regimented. You're way more regimented than others. But Chelsea's like the spitfire. She's like the funny, the everything. And I'm like, okay, she keeps us
Keeps us
in
on
it.
our toes. Well, I can never make promises, but hopefully, we have some good content in store. I was kind of
If
just
it's shit, it's on you,
the
Chelsea.
shit it's on me. I'll just take that onus, whatever. But like I told Britt, the content isn't really what matters. It's the delivery and it's the stuff in between that is I think the fun bits. That's the funnest part I have really at the end of the day. And
I agree.
hopefully everyone
But
enjoys it.
also it just what, sorry?
Hopefully everyone enjoys it. I'm enjoying
Yeah.
it.
If not, it means they don't like us. It's not just like there's no
I
excuses,
won't take that
You should
personally.
yeah, I
I
will.
won't take that. I don't care really. I don't care. Anyways, okay, so we have a little turned up Tuesday. Oh, but we have big news first. We have big
Oh,
news.
yes. Yes. Okay, you go.
Okay, well, big news. Our friend Katie, and I don't know if are you going to go on camera, Katie? I mean, I don't know,
No,
but
because if she goes on camera, she messes up our
okay.
camera.
No,
So sorry, Katie,
we
don't.
don't want her on
We'll
camera.
attach a photo.
We'll attach a photo. Our friend Katie has gotten engaged. Yeah,
Yay!
just
In Paris.
oh no no, I was gonna be like just happened in Ottawa the other day. No, I'm just kidding.
I love that. I was so quick to be like,
Yeah,
in
you
Paris.
ruined it, Britt. I was gonna do a little
Sorry.
sly one on her. Yes, she got engaged in Paris on her lovely European. Well, it wasn't really a tour. I mean, she really only went. You only went to France, right? Yeah, she was only in France for a couple of weeks though.
Just France, eh? Psh.
Rugby. They had like photos taken by the Eiffel Tower in their
Did
rugby
they? I didn't
jerseys.
even know that. Katie,
Girl,
send
you
us a
haven't seen
photo.
them.
That's going on the gram.
It's going on the gram. Yeah. Yeah, Katie, is it like Instagram official yet? Oh, oh, I think we're gonna have to
Well,
fix that.
I was like, to our listeners first.
Yeah, which
Breaking news.
but you won't hear this episode for another couple of weeks in
Oh,
reality,
shit.
so
You're right.
oh, maybe
Yeah.
we could cue it up earlier, but anyways. Yes, she is engaged. She's got a beautiful 3-stone diamond ring on her
A
finger. It is
rock.
stunning. It's got a white gold and a yellow gold setting. It is just beauty. Like, listen, she helped.
Also, we should say Joe's pretty great. Like
Yeah,
she
he's alright. Yeah, well, I mean, he took direction well enough. He got the ring, right? He asked for
I
permission.
love that we're talking about all of like yeah, Paris, this beautiful ring, which like all very critical and important
All about
information
it's
as
what
we
it's all
know.
about.
But we should also talk about the fact that she gets to marry the love of her life.
Yeah, so that and the ring. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Yes,
I'm
and
gonna
Joe's
wheeze.
fine too. Joe's a good
Joe's
guy.
fine
We
too.
like Joe. See him next week in New Orleans, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to get to
woo,
know Joe more. Now that he's locked in, I really feel like I gotta put the time into the
yeah, we
relationship,
gotta
you
put
know?
some time and effort into him.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that he's splurged on the ring too, like, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God you got that budget up, eh, Katie? My God. She tricked him. Did she tell you the story? She tricked him one day when they were drinking, and she said that the night before when he was drinking, he agreed to this, like, crazy budget, and then he actually
I
believed her.
forgot about this.
Yeah,
She did tell me this, and I was like, "That
it's
was
clever.
so fucking bold." Like, ball I can't say the
Bold,
word,
ballsy,
ballsy or
whatever.
bold, but
Bitchin'.
it was,
Yeah,
and
well,
she tricked him.
I think that that's
Didn't
sweet. Like, man, if you
didn't
could
she
pull
tell
that
him in
out.
the end that, like, she did trick him and, like but then they were locked in?
He found out, eh? He kind of figured it out. Figured it out on his own, like she was pulling a fast one on
And
him.
they're still getting married, folks.
Listen, if you can get through that, you can get through anything, right? Like trickery, financial worries before you're even married. Like you're there. I mean, you're there. So, anyways, we will have to put a pickup of
Oh
it. But yeah,
god.
big congrats to Katie and her new ring, and Joe, obviously. Yeah. And so
We love you.
we love you, and I've already been pressing on what are the plans? What's the dress gonna look like? Um, should I start
See, I
picking it, putting my speech together for maid of honor? I'm just like she's like, fuck off, like you're not even on the list. But anyways, bachelorette party. Like summer.
That's the real one that I feel like she'll come to the 2 of us for. We might not be involved in the actual wedding, but we will be there, or else
What do you
I
mean?
will well, I Katie doesn't want bridesmaids,
What do
so
you
we're not gonna be involved.
not involved in the wedding?
Like, we'll be there, but we're not an active participant in the actual nuptials is what I'm
Well, like,
saying.
yeah, if they get married at town hall or whatever, city
Yeah,
hall,
at
sure.
City Hall.
But like she still has to have like for the party, there still has to be like everyone needs to have some sort of title. Okay. And if I don't
Okay,
have a
you're
title,
putting a lot of pressure on her.
yeah,
You're putting a lot of
yeah,
pressure on
on
her. You know
national
what happens to
television. No, on
I
the
was
internet.
but you know what happens to the ones that put pressure? You get booted because 'cause you're not a true
Not a
friend.
chance. She's like bonded to me. She doesn't have a
Well,
choice. Like, listen, we drive into work together. We send each other weird memes of
see, this
stuff.
is the fact that no one talks about. So we started this podcast, the 3 of us, and if I'm being honest, when we first started, me and Chelsea and then me and Katie were the closest,
Yeah.
and since starting the podcast, now the closest are Katie and Chelsea, and I've gotten the boot.
No. Oh my god. Pity party, huh? No, that's not even the case. It's just because I force her to drive me to work a couple of times a week because 'cause I'm too cheap to pay for parking. So she doesn't have a choice.
I joke. I love that we're all so close, and I love that you and Katie have become so much closer since doing this. I mean, you're both epic humans. You also have like very similar sense of
Yeah.
humors, and so you guys just like next level it. Whereas I think, if I'm being honest, I got a lot of strengths. Humor's not one of them to up level. I laugh a
You
lot. I'm
participate.
good.
You
Yeah, but
participate.
I like more so.
Your
I
follower.
make you feel good about the joke instead of
I mean,
you know.
well, I appreciate that even though,
Yeah.
I don't need anyone to make me feel good. We already know it's
Yes,
fucking
you do.
funny. It's, like, funny, right? Okay, so enough about that, like, we're going on and on, like, big news, obviously, we're gonna put a picture up, like, engaged in Paris, so if anyone has a story, probably doesn't top theirs, so amazing, right? Like, she's just, like, cracking up in the kitchen, but this is what she
I'm
wanted.
dying over.
She wanted us to just, like, really big it up, like, so that's why I wanted to go in with a engaged in Ottawa type situation.
I know I ruined it. This is the people pleaser in me. She like said, make sure
No,
people know the whole story.
you
So
don't
right
fuck
away, I
with her.
wanted to say the
Yeah,
story.
he took her to the Cumberland Museum and he proposed. Oh my god. No offense to anyone who's gotten engaged at the Cumberland Museum.
I know. Be careful what you say.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big engagement spot, so I feel like it's safe, but, like, you never know. You never know.
You never know. You never know.
Okay.
Okay, back to what are we talking about today outside of just dying laughing?
So, instead of dying laughing, so I thought I would like dig up some kind of work related facts, and some of them are going to be like duh, and then some of them might be just like life changing. I don't know. And then I thought we'd just dialogue off of some of these facts, like our thoughts. Like, I mean, that's what people want to hear, obviously,
Okay.
what we
Okay.
think about it all. So, I pulled a couple of them up, and some of them were even interesting to me. Okay, this is an obvious one. Okay, Britt, I'll ask you. Britt,
Ask me away.
what do you think is the least likely sick day out of the week? Out of like the Monday to
Monday to
Friday?
Friday?
Yeah. What is the
Least likely.
least likely?
Tuesday.
No, that's incorrect. It's Friday. Everyone likes to be at work on a Friday
You know why?
because ain't
Because
no
no
one
one
do
actually
anything.
works on a
Ain't
Friday.
no one do
Yeah.
anything, and you can get away with slipping out
Yeah.
early, whatever. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
do
yeah.
that though. I'm just telling everyone I don't do that. Okay, what do you think?
I do. I do.
I do. You don't have a full time job. That's not fair.
No, but even when I did, like, listen, what are they gonna do now? I remember 90% of Fridays, I was out by noon at a pub having drinks, team building
Yep.
with coworkers. And honestly, it was team building,
It is.
but usually it started at noon and continued on well into the evening. And that was no longer team building.
I will stick by this like 100%. And it's not great for people who don't drink, but the best team building always happens with an alcoholic beverage in your hand. 100. I mean, ask Katie. She's at fucking Baton Rouge like 4 times a week. I'm not even kidding you. Every time I talk to
Which
her,
day do you call in sick,
yeah,
Katie? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
yeah, all of them. I'd say Mondays for her. And that ding, ding, ding happens to be the most common sick day for
That doesn't
everyone,
surprise me at all.
except for Australia. It's Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Oh, well, I got one. I'm meant to be in Australia. I
Well,
said Tuesday.
no. That's for the wrong question, though, hun. I said most common sick day, not the least common.
Oh,
Yeah.
Monday is the most common.
Yeah, I know, except for Australia, where it's Tuesday.
Is the most common, which is what I said.
No, I asked you, my first question was, what was the least common sick day? And it's Friday, and you said Tuesday.
Oh, okay, now
My
we
God.
pivoted.
Yeah, I mean,
Guys,
pivoted.
Chelsea,
Get with the
you're
program.
you're not asking clearly. This is on you, not on me.
Can we roll this back, guys? Like, this is crazy. I guarantee everyone's going to be listening to this, be like, that was really clear. What is the least likely sick day? Friday. You said Tuesday. I'm like, nah, Friday.
But then you pivoted and you didn't continue your thought. Okay, regardless,
Because
regardless.
then
Sure.
it
Sure.
naturally moved on into a new
Well, no,
conversation.
I don't like that. I like to
Yeah,
anyways,
pick up
go
the
on.
pace.
Next
Pick up the
question.
pace.
Next
Okay.
one.
Okay. This was interesting. Like, if you care, I don't know. Leonardo da Vinci was the first person who was credited with writing a resume. Leonardo da Vinci.
Bullshit.
I thought he was
Bullshit.
an artist or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna show how stupid I am. Like this stuff. Like,
yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
fun fact for any of you
Creative,
who was
if you
into it.
will. Also, when you said that, it made me think of Leonardo DiCaprio,
Oh,
and there was just a photo of him and his new, like, 20-year-old
oh, he
girlfriend
loves a
with her
20-year-old.
hand fully down his pants and his butt, and it was so, like, aggressive. It wasn't just, like, a little, like sometimes you just wanna give, like, a love tap to the tush or, like,
Yeah,
just, like, warm your hand up. It looked like it was fully down, and they were just, like, all of,
these
Demois
girls
and, like,
have
all
to go hard with him, obviously, because he's got a bevy of
yeah.
young ladies who are lining up to be his next boo. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like they
that tap
they got to
out when
go
they hit
for
a
it.
certain age.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like exactly, right? Like so he's not going. He's just like bachelor for life, loving it. You don't give a shit, and that's what I love
yeah.
about it.
I mean, I don't think these 20-something girls give a shit. I think they're fucking capsizing on the fact that they get to take advantage of his world, his connections, of everything else, and then be on their way. I think they're all probably enjoying
He's
it.
just a bit of a horny perv. Is that what we're saying? Who
Yeah.
likes
Yeah,
a
yeah,
young
yeah,
lady,
yeah.
but who doesn't like a young? I'm not going like super young. I'm just like saying
Age
younger,
appropriate.
age appropriate lady. Okay, there's nothing
Okay.
wrong with that.
Anyways,
Okay,
Leonardo. But yeah, resume. Wouldn't have thought that. I mean, maybe he like etched it in stone because didn't he like, you know what I
he
mean? Like maybe it
canvassed it.
was,
He put it on
yeah,
canvas with
yeah.
like the Mona Lisa. Did he?
I wonder what the resume was it like, I wonder it's like, you know,
I'm a painter, and this is where I
yeah,
live.
I thought of a joke and then it wasn't
Yeah.
funny in my head and realized, like,
Okay,
"Pull
let's
back,
just come
Brit,
off of
pull
that
back."
one. It
Yeah.
wasn't that good of a fact, anyways. Okay, and then just random related to like resumes. 80% of jobs are gained through networking and not a resume. Do you agree?
Um
80% it says that's the stat.
I think that's probably a real I love you're like, "That's the stat,
That's what it
that's
is.
the stat." I mean, I think that that is in a lot of large corporations, old
Like
school mentality. I think
higher.
it's changing,
You think it's
and I
changing?
think it should change because I think 80% of referrals means you're hiring the same type of people with the same backgrounds, with the everything, and so I
Ooh.
think people need to source a lot more and get exposure to networks outside of who they know, and that would be better for the company, for humanity, for
Way
everything.
to
So I
bring
hope that
this. Yeah, good answer, Britt.
yeah,
Sorry, I didn't.
it's the glasses,
You just look so fucking smart right now. It's like I'm in a trance.
you know? Get them in there.
Yeah, you really just brought it back there. And I appreciate that with the fun fact that you actually brought it to be somewhat educational and it's a learning. We had a
Yeah,
bit of a learning moment there, which I enjoyed. Okay. Okay. So I wanted to tell you. Okay. So a couple places where you might want to live and work, which are
okay.
not Canada. Obviously, Canada's great. But in France, the average work week is 35 hours. Okay. So great.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like,
surprise me.
Canada, if you're in the government, you're at 37.5 or less. I don't know. Um, or, your standard 40. Okay. But think about this. The Netherlands, what do you think their average work week is for hours?
It's probably like 32.
That's so fucking close. It says here 29, but then when I was looking at another stat, it did say more around the 32 range. So it's probably somewhere around between. We need to be there.
Yeah, they have great
Don't they have
okay,
great maternity
let me be
leave and
real
like
here. W
benefits for
but,
that?
like, they have great so many, employee benefits, ways of working, all that stuff, but I will say, when was the last time you founded a company that's very innovative or doing really well came from there?
Huh. That's a good
You know what I
question.
mean?
We'll have to do some research on that.
But, like, I'm just saying that
Are you
I
saying
think
that
that
a number of hours worked equates to success?
no, not I think it correlates. I don't think it's a causation, but I do think based on everything I know, I think it's really hard to run a really successful company when there's such rigid terms around I'm only going to work X amount of hours. I'm going like I think there's pros and cons. I think life is better there. I think as an employee I would love it. I think it would be harder to build a startup and do something very innovative because it requires so many more hours, life commitments, sacrifices to be
Yeah,
able to get it. And I think that's why a lot of the times a lot of great companies come out of the States, come out
because
of
they're grueling, they're
China,
grinding.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially a full workday less.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In
Yeah.
reality, if you, like, compare it to just, like, your average 40 hours per week, whatever. So then I looked at, like, a comparator to that, Japan, 60 to 70 hours work week average. You don't even want me to tell you about North Korea. I'm not even gonna fucking bring that up.
Yeah,
Um,
well, I mean, I don't really wanna I feel like
yeah,
in
I'm
general,
not
no,
gonna
but
bring that up. But Japanese, did you know that there's a term? There's a term for death due to work. It's called it's
no.
called karoshi. It's called karoshi, and that's where it says many Japanese drop dead at work as a result of their insane work
Is
hours.
that because they don't get to retire at any point, or is it truly just exhaustion from being at work so long?
I think what it is actual like exhaustion, like probably heart attack, stroke type situations. It says that, and I don't have like all the background. It says every year over 10,000 Japanese suffer from karoshi. Can you believe there's a fucking term for just like
That's
it's so
crazy.
common for you to die at work because you just are so overworked. Let's think about that. 60 to 70 hours. So if you're at the max 70 hours, that's like what, a 14-hour workday or something? Something like that?
Yeah.
That's pretty well a 14,
Well, so
15-hour workday.
in a lot of,
That's crazy.
Asia workforces, they do 6 days a week, like 7 6 days a week versus 5.
Oh, yeah, fair.
North America is 5. China is 6 days a week.
So
A lot of
distributed over
India does
6
6.
instead of 5. Okay, so
Yeah. But that being said,
it's a lot.
like, think about it for a minute, like, your whole life would change if you only get 1 day off. Like, it's a moment to be grateful for what you have and how you can set it up. It's wild.
You only have 1 night to go out and do whatever you wanna do and sleep in the next morning, and that's a
Yeah.
travesty.
And then the days themselves are longer
Oh
too.
my god. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it would still be like a 12, 13-hour workday
Well,
distributed
yeah, if you do
across
6 days
16.
a week and it's
Uh,
like 75 hours, it'd be like
ew,
12 hours a day.
gross.
Or sorry, 10 hours a day,
Yeah, my
right?
math is I don't know, one of us is fucking up our math. I don't think the
Yeah, it's probably me. I
glasses aren't
started doing it,
working.
then I
I don't think
confused.
the glasses are no, I'm just kidding. The glasses have stopped working for a
Is it
second.
these glasses or is it these glasses, you know?
I can't say for sure, I'm seeing 2 of you. No, I'm just kidding. Um, Anywho, okay, so I've got another couple. So what one of the perkiest job like that anyone can think of apparently, and I'm sure there's many more that beat this, but one that I looked up is someone who is a Netflix viewer. Someone who
Sorry, wait, what? Say this all again.
like the
The perkiest
I
job?
said perkiest, but that's a weird word. So anyways, like
Yeah.
one of the great jobs that you could have would be to be a Netflix viewer apparently. And that's
Cool.
someone who just gets to watch the Netflix shows, the content before it goes public. And I guess they rate it or give feedback or whatever. Like, wow,
Yeah, yeah,
I would be
yeah.
so good at that
Why don't you quit your job and do it?
and become a Netflix viewer. I wonder if it pays well.
Probably not.
Ah, fuck. Okay. Like, conversely, one of the worst jobs in the world, a sewer swimmer.
Oh,
Yeah.
ew! Ew, you said sewer and I thought it was bad, but then you said
Swimmer.
swimmer.
So in Mexico City, the sewer system is maintained by a group of workers who have to dive through human waste, animal corpses, and rubbish to do repairs because they got to repair the sewer system. Can you
I can't.
imagine that?
No, it makes me wanna vom.
Going from being a Netflix viewer to being a sewer swimmer. I'm
That
sorry.
just, like they better get paid a shit ton.
Probably not, hun. Probably not. But
That's
anyways,
so sad. I feel bad.
I'm just putting that out there.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. It's like animal corpses.
yeah, it got worse and worse as you kept talking.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be full of like rats and like other
Oh,
good
okay,
things and
oh,
stuff.
I
Like
can't
that's just
even.
gross. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
makes me feel very, very lucky.
Some random ones that like are good for work, but like also like whatevs.
Yeah?
Drinking enough water and liquid can increase your daily productivity by 14%.
14,
It
eh?
says
That's a high
it says
percentage.
14%. So I guess like I mean have a water bottle beside your desk. I mean,
Just get an IV while you're working, I'll jump
oh,
up to
I wish
20.
we did that here, like more in
Yeah.
Canada. Didn't you say you
Sidebar, I was telling
Yeah,
Chelsea, yeah, that I got an IV, I wasn't feeling good, and I got one, and it was a game changer. Like, you get automatically hydrated, but then they put, like, B complex, B vitamins, magnesium, you can add a few different
straight
things.
to
They
the
have this
blood.
one thing, it's called oh, I'm not gonna get it right, but it's like it starts with a T, trazodone, trazodone, I don't know, but it's like um, a high dose of, like, ibuprofen.
Ooh,
I felt glorious after,
oh
and
my
it just
god.
got me through,
Drugged
like, a
ya.
really severe yeah, oh, it's great.
Wow. See, like we need to do that a little bit more in Canada. I don't know if there's like because there's rules around it, it's not as
I
common
think
here.
it's just yeah, like, it's all approvals, right? Like the FDA, then, like, the counterpart in
So we
Canada.
need some sort of like mobile IV clinic that services people because man, that's a good way to get rid of a hangover too, probably.
Oh, yeah, most people do it. So then I was asking the nurse who came here, I was asking her, like, all these questions, like, "What's the craziest thing you've seen?" I won't repeat all of them because 'cause
Ooh,
they're kinda gross and, like, wild,
ew.
but one of them, she said she went and it was, like, a bachelor party, and so one of the guys was, like, so on things that he's, like, getting the IV while still, like, drinking and consuming drugs,
Okay.
and he's, like, going crazy, and she's like, "This isn't gonna fix it if you keep doing it," but it's like in his arm and he's running all over the place. She's like, "It's gonna rip out." So finally his friends are like, "Keep hitting him with like magnesium because it makes you sleepy." So she just kept like pumping it in, and then all of a sudden he like passed out.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm, like, curious to hear about the weird or gross things that you
I know. I'll tell you
That's
offline.
interesting. Yeah, well, it makes me think of The Hangover, like the movie, because I just recently
Yeah.
rewatched it because it's obviously hilarious, right? But, like,
Yeah.
anyways.
Oh, that makes me wanna watch Hangover, White Chicks, and other funny old
Old
movies with you too.
school, Wedding
Yeah.
Crashers, yeah, all
So good.
the classics for a
Yeah.
weekend, and
Yeah.
you should you're leaving tomorrow, right? Like, you guys are
Yeah,
leaving
I should
for
download them.
you should download them and watch them on the plane, hilarious.
It's only like a 2.5, but I'll watch them by the beach. They're
Oh,
hilarious.
tough life, eh? Like, I'll watch them by
Yeah.
the beach, like, "Fuck off."
I'm not swimming in sewage, but
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
no.
yeah. Brit's going to Mexico tomorrow, just for those of you who aren't aware. She's heading to Mexico for a lovely wedding of one of
Yeah,
her friends and former
your
colleagues.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, like, wow, what a life, eh? What's the
I
resort like
know.
that you guys are going to? Just curious.
It's Dreams.
Oh, I love
Dreams
dreams. That's
in Mayan
nice.
Riviera. Yeah, it's super nice. I've been to the Mayan Riviera, but I, like,
Yeah,
can't
I got
place it.
married there, hun.
Not Dreams.
Not at the dreams, but the my
Oh, okay,
Riviera Maya.
I
I got married there. Like, of course.
yeah, 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 okay, but I don't remember we didn't go off resort when you got married, did we?
Well, we went to,
Cocobongo.
the
Remember that
Bongo,
night?
Billabongo?
Yeah,
Billabongo?
Cocobongo.
Bongo, and we did,
Yeah.
like, an excursion or whatever, but, like, bus in the back.
Cocobongo was a time.
I remember
You were
dancing on the
on
stage and
stage.
getting my
Yeah,
dress, like, blown up with the air thing. I'm like, "Oh, wow. That's
only
something."
in Mexico. You were also, like, 21.
No, 24.
Okay, well, see,
I got
baby.
engaged at
You're
21.
literally Leonardo DiCaprio's, like, prime age group. That's how young you were.
God, I wish. Yeah, I'm way past his frickin' prime age now. My
Yeah.
god. Back then, yes. I wasn't supermodel-y enough for him though. But,
Yeah, you
yeah,
were. You're
Mexico,
gorgeous.
that's gonna be such a great trip. I'm so jealous of
Yeah,
you
I'm
though.
excited. I get to see I mean, honestly, there's so many of the talent team at Shopify that are
Oh,
going,
it's
so
gonna be
it's like a
so
little
fun.
bit of a reunion. It's gonna be so fun.
Can you guys have a little, like, session and write down some podcast topics for us?
Oh,
Like,
100%,
100%,
yeah.
they have loads to say about,
Yeah.
like, what we're doing. Maybe they
We'll
can
bring a
even
few on.
Yeah,
Like, we got our
definitely.
first guest coming up in a few weeks who I'm super excited about, but there's definitely more guests to come, so I'll ask.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited, but, like, kind of pick their brains and stuff about stuff,
Yeah.
that we might wanna chat about and or those who wanna
Especially
participate.
when they're drunk, because 'cause they'll be more funny. I'll see if I can get some video
Yeah,
clips,
video clips are key.
like
Evidence.
confessional
Like,
questions, see what comes out.
evidence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Evidence.
I'm gonna go into another one of the
Sure.
facts that I looked at. Um, and this, like, kind of resonates with me actually. So it says 70% of employees say that motivation and morale would improve massively with managers saying thank you more. And I don't know that it's, like, necessarily just the words "thank you," but, like, demonstrating gratitude
Tell
and
me why sorry, let's pause here. Tell me why it really resonates with you.
I mean, I don't know, just because I think well, it resonate and not because I need people to say thank you to me, but I think it just, like, sits with, like, acknowledging people and the hard work that they're doing and not just, like it's so easy to say thank you. But the
Yeah.
impact that it has on people and, like, their outlook on their work and how they've contributed, I find is huge. I know even just, like, when my boss sends me a message saying, like, "You guys are doing a great job. I just wanna check in and, like, thank you for everything you did with that event that you guys put on. I know it was a lot of work." It takes 2 seconds to do something like that, but the impact is, like, immeasurable because what that does in demonstrating that gratitude and it does motivate people. It motivates to want to continue to have that feeling and
Yeah.
it shows that they're appreciated. And I think that's incredibly important.
I think that it is super valuable and incredibly important when it's done right.
Well, it has to be
If
genuine.
someone says yeah, yeah, that's the only caveat I would say.
And
And a lot of times you're right, people take each other for granted and don't say thank you often enough to just acknowledge, and so I think everyone can do it more, but don't go out there to start saying thank you for everything if it's not
It's gotta be
real
pointed.
meaningful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
genuine, meaningful, whatever, but it's like we've talked about feedback, like in Radical Candor and whatever, it's just like,
Yeah.
"Thanks so much, this was amazing." Well, why was it amazing? What was
Yeah.
amazing about it? Like, what was so great about it? Like, show me you're actually paying attention or whatever the case is. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for organizing that. I know that a lot of
Yeah.
time and effort went into doing it, and jumped over so many hurdles to get to the final product, and everyone was impressed. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that might be seem a long fucking winded way of saying thank you, but it takes 2 minutes to do that, like
And what was the percentage increase in
70,
happiness or
70.
70? On engagement or happiness?
Well,
What?
yeah, it says, like, motivation and morale.
Yeah, makes
I
sense.
mean,
So do it.
I think it
It's
makes
an easy
perfect sense.
solve. Yeah.
I think it makes perfect sense. And you listen, okay, so I'll tell you one other one that resonates for me. People are more creative in the shower. I say this all the fucking time. I have my best ideas in the shower. It says taking a warm shower increases dopamine flow that makes us more creative. Do you know how many times I've
I've never had a good idea in
what?
the shower.
What? I don't it
I
might
mean, I've had good time in the shower, I've just not had a very good idea.
this is a PG show, okay, Brit?
I'm just
No, I'm just
saying,
kidding.
like, I've never had a good idea in the
You don't
shower.
think in the shower? I almost all of
No.
like no, not all. Like that's really over attributing, but I've had so many good kind of brain explosions while I've been in the shower, and then I have to run out and I'll do a quick voice to text or whatever to
Get one
myself.
of those boards in the shower that you can write in the water. That's a Christmas gift for you. I'll tell Gary,
Okay,
or else
that's
I'll get it. But anyways,
intense.
side note, I think it's because you practice mindfulness in the shower.
It's not because of the increased dopamine flow due to the warm water.
Probably yes, yes, and though I think that it creates the right environment for you to be still with your thoughts and, like, conclusions to come
There
together.
you go. Just focusing on the warm water hitting your body and all
You
the
don't have annoying kids around. I
no
love your
kids.
kids, by the way, but
Listen,
you know what I mean? Like, they're not like, "Mommy, mommy."
I'll be honest, like, half the time they're trying to come in and stuff, like, when I'm in the shower, I'm like, "Get out, close the door, it's
My good
freezing."
idea is
Yeah, my
dissolving.
my good ideas, I'm thinking, I got my thinking cap on. Yeah, anyway, so that's an interesting one, but, yeah, I had some other stuff I was gonna kinda bring up, but whatever, we can just, like,
Well, give me
skip
one
that.
more good one.
Well, no, the other ones is, like, a whole other segment of this, is, like, these
Oh,
true or
okay. So
false
we'll
ones,
save it
like
for another
it's,
time.
like, totally different. I mean, I looked up a lot of different stats, and some of them, like, kind of were interesting, and some of them were just kinda like, "Nah, nah," so
I feel like that's the epitome of work. Who wants to work, you know? It's just like there's some good, but there's also wah
I
wah.
was trying to find up, like, some really, really crazy type stats, like, I don't know, and I don't know why my mind goes to this. I mean, who's doing these surveys? I don't know, but, like, the percentage of people who had sex at work, I don't know why I just whispered it, but, like,
Who I know you did. I don't even think our listeners heard.
I don't
Say it
I don't
again.
wanna say it any louder, but, like, the percentage of people who've had sex at work, I don't know.
You think that there's a big percentage?
I probably think you'd be surprised. I mean,
I remember the first
I haven't.
time so someone I was like I used to work with, we're like out at lunch and she just starts talking about this Christmas party at her last job and how she like had sex in the office and da da da. And I was like, that's like a pretty bold thing to just expose. And like I guess I'm naive. I don't know, like I'm naive. I just didn't think that it happened. I mean, listen, I'm also in HR, so I've seen things and I know people do it,
Yeah.
but I just didn't think it was a high percentage.
I mean, I don't know, maybe put like, listen, if it's an anonymous survey or something, like, and, like, who's taking the survey also? Are they credible? Is
Yeah.
it the New York Times? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's hot. I get why people would want to. It's just, like, so risky and, like, also kinda I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's obviously some people doing some later nights, on the clock or whatevs, I don't know, but not saying
On the clock.
on the clock, like, I'm not in that category, I'm just saying, but I was kinda trying to dig up some of those ones that interest
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't find any, so maybe
We'll do a Tipsy Tuesday that's, like, after dark. You know how, like, you can get every game, it's, like, whatever game and it's normal,
code
and then it's,
names
like, after
after
dark.
dark.
Yeah, code
Yeah, yeah.
names after dark.
I was gonna play that, funny enough, like, when we're at your parents' for someone's birthday a couple weeks ago. It was Catherine's, and we were doing code names, and then we're like, "Oh, should we pull out the after dark?" And then you just never know what could happen with that. So I was like, "Let's just do the regular," like
Yeah,
let's
it's
just
so funny because me and Scott were at the store the other day, and I was like, "Oh, there's code names. We should buy it for the house here." And he looks at me and he's like, "Well, we have to get the after dark version. That one's just basic." And I'm like, we were on the same wavelength because I would never pick the basic one. The other one's so funny, makes people so awkward, and like I remember when I think it was I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but like the dirty word for cat, and my mom was playing and she kept being like meow. Like, she kept actually just trying to, like, be the very, like, here's the PG version of it.
yeah.
I was dying laughing. I just loved the innocence and the, like, not going to
Oh,
go there, you
Pam.
know what I
And
mean?
there's nothing innocent about her, but anyway, surprises me that she would have gone innocent on that one.
Yeah.
But no,
Oh, yeah.
yep, same wavelength. We'll do. I don't know if we'll do an
I
after
don't know if
dark
we will. Well,
version
so
like
many
that's.
people like this one. I feel like we went rogue a bit on this
Yeah, but
one,
that's
so
okay. That's okay. But anyways, I feel like we've gotten a lot of. Hey, we've gotten some information out there. Some important
Mhm.
information for people.
Mainly that Katie's engaged.
Mainly that Katie's engaged. You want to avoid karoshi.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
don't do that,
just putting that
folks.
out there. Drink water.
Yeah, and don't go swimming in the sewage.
Okay. Don't go swimming in the sewage, try not to do that. And also, put a white erase board in your shower,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, I like it. Obviously.
Obviously. Yeah. So
Obviously.
obviously. So it is Tipsy Tuesday because
Yeah, we're there.
it's
This is where I
Friday.
wish I was in Ottawa.
Yeah. Well, then I'd have been here for another couple hours and then I'd have to call my husband going, I'm gonna sleep over.
You
So
guys can still sleep over if you want. Just let me know. We won't set the
we're
alarm
just
again.
sleeping over. Katie, that's it. We're sleeping over. Yeah, like we've ordered in. We're
So good.
not leaving. We're good. We're
Yeah,
set
get a
up
little
here.
Uber Eats, you're good to go. Just clean up.
Yeah, well, okay. We will. I promise.
Okay, love you.
Love you and cheers to another Tipsy Tuesday and fun facts. And yeah,
See you soon.
see you soon.